Welcome back to Spoiler Free Wrestling, everyone. And there was something that happened Monday night on Raw involving Shelton Benjamin and Paul Heyman, which possibly warrants a little bit more attention. Now, some of this wasn't shown on camera and only appeared to the live audience. It was later a WWE.com exclusive. But in the commercial break between when Shelton Benjamin had attacked Seth Rollins and when they came back and Rollins and Benjamin were involved in a singles match, Paul Heyman introduced Shelton Benjamin, and he described him as Brock Lesnar's assistant coach. He also referred to Benjamin as a former training partner of Brock Lesnar's, and noted the two attended the University of Minnesota together, where Benjamin was a two-time All-American. Now, Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar have a past together, which Paul Heyman was referring to, and which Shelton Benjamin has now acknowledged on social media as well. Now, let's go to Shelton Benjamin's social media. And he put out this tweet not long after his attack over Seth Rollins, just saying, "Are we paying attention?" And he also pointed out that Shelton Benjamin, well, he retweeted this tweet from Jim Ross, saying, "We signed John Cena, Randy Orton, Dave Bautista, Brock Lesnar, and Shelton Benjamin in one class that reported to Ohio Valley Wrestling." So Shelton, I mean, like, when you look at John Cena, Randy Orton, Dave Bautista, Brock Lesnar, 80% of those are going into the Hall of Fame. And Shelton Benjamin, hey, you know, he's only 43. He's still got some time left to do some crazy stuff. And he also sent out this tweet. This is the only other thing that he has sent out since Monday Night's Raw, and he said, "It's Minnesota Stretching Crew, not Wrecking Crew. That was Arn and Ole Anderson." Now, of course, Arn and Ole Anderson are the famous Minnesota Wrecking Crew tag team. The Minnesota Stretching Crew tag team Shelton Benjamin is referring to is the Ohio Valley Wrestling tag team he was a part of along with Brock Lesnar. You can see in the comment section here, Eugene, Nick Dinsmore, who would have trained with those two, just wrote, "And stretch they did." Now, if we go to the Minnesota Stretching Crew's bio here on the online world of wrestling, they are three-time OVW Southern Tag Team title winners. They held the titles 3 times in 2001. Then Brock Lesnar was called up to the main roster in late 2001. Benjamin wouldn't join the main roster himself until 2002. So here are just some pictures of the Minnesota Stretching Crew, Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin. Of course, so these two attended the University of Minnesota together. And Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar came into WWE's developmental program at the same time as part of the same class, which also involved John Cena, Brock Lesnar, and Randy Orton. They wrestled a match on the main roster for WWF Jacked on April 16th, 2001. The Minnesota Stretching Crew defeated BJ Payne and Shooter Skults. And it would be just the next week that they would drop the Southern Tag titles to the Disciples of Sin, but they'd win them back later. They also wrestled in a dark match on Sunday Night Heat the next month, defeating the Disciples of Sin, who were their big rivals. So they were wrestling on a few house shows, episodes of WWF Jacked. They wrestled the Prototype, it was John Cena and Rico Constantino, in a title match on an episode of Jacked. It was a dark match, but they won the titles at the Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. So Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar go way back as the Minnesota Stretching Crew, and now we have Paul Heyman introducing Shelton Benjamin as Brock Lesnar's assistant coach, and Shelton Benjamin tweeting out a reference to their old tag team, the Minnesota Stretching Crew. So is this going to lead to a bigger role in WWE for Shelton Benjamin? Fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling know that Shelton Benjamin wrestled in that promotion from 2012 to 2015. He was a member of Suzuki-gun and threw an X in the middle of his name, so he was Shelton X Benjamin. Now, along with the other members of Suzuki-gun, he left New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2015 to go to Pro Wrestling Noah. He did not return with the faction in 2016, however, as he was already linked to WWE at that point. They were looking at bringing Benjamin in shortly after the latest brand split took effect. However, a torn rotator cuff in his shoulder required surgery. Benjamin was then on the shelf for about a year. Since that time, he's tagged with Chad Gable and largely kind of been forgotten about. But maybe, just maybe, the Minnesota Stretching Crew is coming back, and Shelton Benjamin is going to be a representative of Brock Lesnar's team that we see on episodes of Raw frequently. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, thanks everybody. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button to help this channel grow and be seen by more people. I'm the iGuy from Spoiler Free Wrestling.